Hey, so today I wanted to make a video on the Roland TR-8S. There's a lot of videos out there on this already. I'm not going to deep dive it. This is more just for if you just got one, you got home, you just want to have a quick jam, then this is more like a quick start kind of thing. So I'll go into the panel, some basic features, and yeah, we'll just go like that. So this drum machine is super fun. It's just got a lot of controls going on. You can really jam this thing, and honestly, I'm not very good at making good beats on a drum machine solo. Many people doing that much better than me, but I just like it. I just like using it. I have fun with this thing. So yeah, it was one of my gear regrets. I had one, I sold it, and then I said, "Ah, man, I really miss just jamming my drum machine." So I got another one. So here it is, and yeah. So you're gonna turn it on, and the basics of it. If we ignore this and this and this stuff up here, if we just focus to basically the step sequencer and these, then you can learn most of this just by learning one channel. So you have 11 instruments, right? Bass drum, snare drum, low, mid, high tom, rim shot, hand clap, closed hat, open hat, crash cymbal and ride cymbal. But these can be swapped out for anything you want, put into any order or configuration you want. So the labeling, it's semi-meaningful, really. But yeah, so this is very simple. On each of these instruments, you can change the pitch, the decay, and you have a special control here, which you can assign to be, there's a button here that says CTRL Select. If I press that, then you have this value encoder. Now this value encoder here will basically, this is going to, whatever of these menu related buttons you have here, this will cycle through whatever that menu presents to you. So this is like your encoder for navigation. So right now I'm saying CTRL Select is off, which means these don't do anything, but I could set this to be the pan, the reverb send, and then all of these become the reverb send, and so on and so forth. So for now, we can just leave it as reverb send. So now with my kick, you can see every time you actually turn the knob, you'll get a feedback on that LCD saying what it is. And as you can see, I'm changing the reverb send, but I'm just going to keep that. It's a tiny bit of reverb because it's a kick. So it's the same for all of them. Now, with this thing, basically what we can do is, I'll just quickly copy that, because I quite like. Okay, cool. So I was just copying a pattern from one to the other so I can mess with it, because I quite like what I've got down here. But so at the start of, oh yeah, and of course faders, it's your volume control. So at the start, if I hold clear, we have the master volume here and a volume for your external in. You have a shift button here because each of these will have a shift function, and a clear button. So let's just clear everything. So now none of these have any data. So what I can do now is if I select the instrument by pressing its relevant button here, then I just tap some some data in here, so I can probably on my clap I'll put something there, and the rim shot can have that. And let's see, and then you just, this is your start stop button. Now for this, I've actually like selected some instruments already to load into these, just like nothing sampled or anything, because the thing about this drum machine is you can put samples on an SD card, then load the samples into here, but I never do that. I like the sounds that are on it, and just throw some sounds in here and add some effects, and you're good. So we can see, okay, so on this one I've got a last step function. Okay, so this is quite nice. So the mode we're in is TR-8S, and this is the mode I'm usually in. So TR-8S mode is just tapping stuff in wherever you want it, you know. So there's a button here called last, and last is nice because with last you can tell each track, because each track will run for 16 steps, and you have 8 variations here. So if you want it to run for 32, you can add a second variation. I never do this, honestly. I'll show you how when we get down there, but I never do this. But this last step function is cool, because whereas you can see this is my rim shot, it's going all the way across the 16 steps. But actually, if I press this last button, and remember the highlighted track is the track that you are editing, I'll press last. Now let's say I just want this to repeat every 5. See that? So now you can see we're just repeating this, right? It's a lot of delay on this because I like it, but and maybe we give this let's make it 6 steps, and let's take the delay off that. Doesn't sound like much, but actually if we add in a kick, and then let's make this 9. So now you can hear how that rim shot kind of sounds like it's changing over time, like always evolving, but you've just taken some steps off, you know. So what we got over here? So on my snare drum track, I'm actually not using a snare, I'm using a kind of second kick. So let's just punch in. Some mid toms. Close hats. Typically always going to do something like this, so I'll just run them all in, but if I hold shift and I tap them, then they have kind of different velocities. This kind of humanizes it a little bit. Let's put these opens here. Right symbol, I'm swap out for like some more congas, and this one's a bit weird. This is like that FM sound. Let's bring that down. A lot of delay on this, so I just kind of house off it. Nice. So that's me just like tapping stuff in and just pulling faders in and out. You don't always need to be so on and off about it. You can I've kind of custom color coded these things as well, because I want to know what's these two sounds are actually the same thing. This one we could add some more reverb to. This one I'm not sure. I was feeling it before, but I'm feeling it right now. Let's get some more. Another thing, let's put some delay on this. So let's get into effects. So everything can be sent to the delay and reverb up here. It's kind of like you can press this CTRL Select button. I just pull this down, like it's just like you can press this CTRL Select button here, and then you can change what all these are doing here. But actually, there's another way. So this sound, I'm thinking, I wonder what that would sound like with some delay. I can hold it and just turn the delay here. I can shorten that. It's just hanging out in the background there. That's quite nice. So up top here, we got some stuff going on. So we got accents. So in every step, you can decide these steps will be a little bit louder than the others. So I can turn that up. You'll see those steps. But I just want to keep that quite subtle. Okay, so then we got our reverb here. So this is like your master reverb volume here. If I just turn it right up, see how that can get really overpowering. It's still quite nice when it's good as a transitional effect. And same for your delay. You can change the time and the feedback. So it's like so I can bring some stuff in. I don't quite remember everything I sent to the delay, but like let's just like feed some stuff into it, right? So now I'm just gonna turn up this feedback, and if I go up all the way on the feedback, then I'll just get infinite feedback loop. Just let this build and build and build and build and build and build and build. And just like hit stop here. But this infinite feedback loop will just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going for quite a long time. and that's nice. And everything stops, you just like bring some stuff down and put some stuff back in. How about just like that? And then you can still feel the rhythm run. And just reset your settings back to how they were. Then your master effects here, it's either on or off, but you can assign this to be high pass filter, low pass filter, whatever. It weakens the signal a bit the higher you go with it, but now the drum machine has something called a scatter feature, so you can change the scatter type, but basically when you tap this button here, manual trigger, from when you tap it to the end of here, you'll get like a got some fill, so I can tell it like every four bars do a fill, so I'll turn auto fill on. So now every four you should get one now. Let's turn that off, and you can edit the fills and stuff. Jam within inside here, so it kind of that's actually one thing I'm not doing here either is I'm not messing around with the decay of some of these things. So So yeah, just that, like that's just working with what's here. You're already jamming, you know. That kit is one that I made, but if we shift clear pattern select TR-8, we have substeps as well. So actually, so I'm holding clear and just tapping these out. So let's just put something. Actually, I wonder if we can get. Yeah, okay. So that's what substeps does. I don't really use it that much, honestly. But let's do something a bit more obvious. So I'm gonna clear this. We got this. Now, what I want to show you is motion record. Okay, so you turn it on. Now if we hit record, well, before we hit record, what we do is if I just hit record when I'm doing that, so you can like motion record all this stuff. You can motion record all this stuff as well. So, and then when you're done, hit record again, or you'll accidentally do more motion recording. So motion recording can be pretty wild. Just tap some things in here. Let's get our kicks back in and a couple of toms. Just, I don't know, let's see. Don't need that, got that. And just put these on every, there's fine. Okay, so we'll just turn everything on. Okay, so now let's arm some motion recording and just okay, so let's go into these. So we got some motion recording going on some stuff, and then we just we can turn off. Whenever you want it. And then I think some combination of clear and this will clear it. Let's try. There you go. So you hold the on and you tap clear. It says motion erased. Then you're back there. So motion recording is pretty cool. Then instrument play is just every one of these buttons relates to the instrument that you have in here. And you can use this guy as well, just to tap them in. So what you can do is I just give myself, so I just cleared most stuff apart from this kick, I believe. select it, then tap it in, and then go to instrument record, and then go back to play. Nice. Okay, weird timing there. I missed a beat there, but it actually sounds fine. So just let it come in, and so yeah, so there you just kind of jump in between selecting things and tapping them in. So that's quite nice because it's got like some quite good jam factor, you know. And then of course we've got this mute button here, so here we can just like mute things whenever, you know, just like. I never really use this. I find muting things on and off these tiny little buttons a little bit awkward, so I just tend to just kind of like leave it be. But if I come out and mute, and let's go in here, and then let's just go back to TR-8S mode and avoid the kick steps. So yeah, you can totally do it like that, but I don't know, we're just into kind of tapping things in and out, but yeah. So that's I think that's most stuff explained here. And then over here we have tempo dial, make tempo whatever, some shuffle. I find the higher the tempo, the lower the shuffle is quite nice. Probably want, like, if you're doing stuff down here, like in the 90s, you can do more of this maybe. But you getting around here, then a bit less. And that's the most of it, really. So what you can do then is, let's say you've got a groove. So you can change the kit. So these 8 buttons here, so we've covered this one, that's CTRL Select. Copy is just the ability to copy, for example. So we've just been jamming this one variation, but if I hold copy and I tap this, you'll see it says variation copy A, and where am I copying it to? So I copy it to B and let go. So now these two are the same. So I can come here and then I can kind of do some like changes here. Goes here, just move that over here. Has that bass line feel like that? Now if I do this, it's going to play from this one to this one. So sample, not doing some samples in this video, so just ignore that. So the two above here, kit and instrument. So kit is just you can basically just it will come default with lots of kits. There's a file somewhere online which wipes all the kits from the system. It doesn't wipe the sounds, it just wipes the kit, so you start with empty kits now. So I just made a kit here and I added different instruments to each of these. Then I changed the color coding on them just to keep me, like, there's two kicks, so I made them the same color, you know, etc. So it just gives me some nice visual feedback on what's going on here. And yeah, so use your value knob here, and you can flick through the different kits. This will not change your sequence. Your sequence will remain. So if I come over here to like a 909, and then if I hit play, I'll get my sequence, but everything will be weird. The second kick will now be actually a snare drum. Everything will be relatable to what these labels say. And if you go to instrument, then just turn down this. So if I'm just playing this kick, if I've tapped instrument, now you can see I can change the instruments here. So these BD, SD, LT, MT, HT, so on and so forth, you'll see that in the upper right here. So right now I'm in the bass drum section. I can cycle through all of these one at a time, or if I hold shift I can jump by category. So now I'm in my snare drums, now I'm in my toms, percussions, so on and so forth. So if I don't like this kick, I just come here, I press instrument, I select it, and then I can change it. So you got quite a few, and then you can do that for all of them. Now, if I go shift and instrument, then we're getting into the menu diving. But the menu diving here is, you only really need to dive about one level, so it's not that divey at all, and you're usually just working with two options. So when you go into a menu, we will basically just use this value encoder to cycle through the thing. So Level. So for this bass drum, I am now just editing its parameters, right? So because I selected the bass drum. Now level is just what the fader is, so there's no point in doing anything there. But a nice thing to do is when you're making a kit of your own, gain. So gain is like what it sounds like at 100%. So when you're jamming, typically you just want to be able to throw your faders up and you're away, you know. But when you start mixing and matching different sounds, you might find when everything's at 100%, your mix sounds a bit weird. And actually your perfect mix might be with, you know, something kind of that looks like that, and you're just like, okay, I like it like that. But when you're jamming, you can't just throw a fader to this position here, like exactly, you know. So that's why you just set everything to 100%, and then go into gain, and then when you tap each of these, it will change. So here's my high tom, and I'm still on gain. So if I hit enter here, I can change the value for that one. But then I can tap mid tom, then I can adjust the value for that. So then you can mix the volume levels of your kit and get it kind of how you want it, which is pretty useful. And once you've done that for all of them, see, every one of these instruments, gain is just one option. So once you've done that, press enter, and your little arrow here, which is always jumping back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. So then you can change the panning, the reverb send, delay send. So these are the default settings that your instruments will load up with in this kit. And you can set a lot of stuff in here, the instrument effects and all of that. If we do this for the kit, shift and kit, then there's a lot of stuff going on in here as well. So we have the level, and this is nice. So this is where, see, some things just affect the instrument, but other things affect the kit as a whole. And your master effects, for example, your reverb, your delay, your actual master effect here, this stuff you can totally tune in here. So I can go into here and select Hall 2 as my reverb, and then I can tell it, you know, how long is the reverb, let's max that. And I can cut out some of the bass so it doesn't get too muddy. I can roll off some of the high so it sounds a bit darker. And then your delay. So your delay type, sorry. So your delay is tempo synced, and your delay time. And you can set all your default values here. Then you can high and low cut what's going through it, and then is it being passed through the reverb as well, stuff like that. Your master effects for this kit, is it like center point to left is your low pass and center point to right is your high pass, or do you just want a high pass filter, which is cool. So and then here you can also set your external in and set a side chain on it and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool. One other useful thing that exists in the kit level here is your output. So mix is your two left and right, like main outputs here, but in the back of the TR-8S it's got some other outputs. So you can send your kick out a different output, and then I can go through some effects pedals or something, and you know, you can say, okay, the bass drum is going to go out the mix here, or it's going to go out one of they're called assigns, assign 1, assign 2. So you can send it out off another port for external processing. And actually, what's quite a fun trick is you've got an input as well. So you've got external in. So you could send some crashes and rides out of like assign 1 and assign 2, send them to your input, and then put a sidechain on that. So you've just got this kind of pumping effect, which is quite fun. So anyway, I'll keep it in the mix, but each of these can be sent. Anything can be sent out of these assigns. So it's just that's really useful to know. And colors, I love messing with this. So my bass drum, I can change its color, and but actually a really easy way to do this is once you're in this color menu, just moving the faders will change the colors. You can set all your tones, and once you've got how you like it, you can just exit that, and then later, man. It's cool, right? So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to just come back to my old kit. So yeah, so you make your kit, and so that's instruments and kits. We don't care about samples. Copying, I showed you that. Utility is settings, so I'll hold shift to just skip through the categories here. So general, reload a pattern, sample import, brightness of your LEDs, sync and tempo, so how tempo sync is being handled, and is it MIDI or is it USB or whatever. Some options for your mix out, external in, and your SD card version numbers. I still need to update this one actually. It's quite a recent used purchase. So for your more technical, like how is MIDI being handled, and are we receiving start stop, are we sending start stop, that's all in utility. And the right button, if something's been changed and there is a savable value, because it's not the same as the save version, there'll be an asterisk next to the word. So we can save patterns, we can save kits, and we can save system information as well. So system would be if I changed where the MIDI clock was going to or coming from or something like that, then it would ask us to save that. So if I wanted to resave anything, then for example I can just I press enter here, and then I just press enter again, but I'll leave that, no need to mess with it actually. But that's writing. And yeah, I mean, just with that knowledge there, you should be able to, I guess last thing is if you hold shift and press this master effects button, then you can change the master effects type. And just remember also for these, pressing and holding them, you can change the send amount for each one, for the reverb and the delay and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That's just a little walkthrough guide, and yeah, I hope someone finds this useful one day. And thanks very much. Okay, right, bye.